To speak out on controversial issues without the fear of the cancel culture sweeping the rest of the media. The Together Association proved a pivotal movement during our country's COVID nightmare as they took a stand against damaging restrictions and fought valiantly for folks' freedom. Its 200,000 strong Downing Street petition, supported by freedom fighters like our very own Tonya Buxton and Adam Brooks, was instrumental in stopping the government's sinister vaccine passport policy. Now, the influential grassroots campaign is refocusing its energy on the COVID-fuelled financial crisis, and they want the country's next Prime Minister to axe taxes to help the country recover. And having bolstered their support to more than 300,000 signatories, they're confident they can have just as important impact on what they're calling, and what I'm calling too, the cost of lockdown crisis. Their co-founder, Alan Miller, joins me now. So, Alan, how do we get out of this monumental mess caused by the COVID lockdowns?
Well, first of all, Dan, what we have to do is the next PM has to axe the tax, is what we're saying. So that means that both the VAT charges and also the green levies on fuel and energy prices in the home. They constitute 52% of fuel prices when we put into the car and around anywhere between 12 and 15% in the home. That would immediately take some pressure off. But actually, Dan, obviously we need a much bigger, robust investment in infrastructure, a big plan, effectively, that's going to mean that we can meet the needs of society and have a robust one, not led ideologically, but based around the need, and to get a dynamic economy running again, and to create a situation where we're not keep having impositions and restrictions as some kind of policy repertoire that carries on from the nightmare of the COVID restrictions, but actually a dynamic, innovative approach to investment, infrastructure, and to allow some companies to fail, but also to have a safety net there for them and some retraining and be really ambitious. But in the immediacy, as we approach the autumn, we're very concerned about what's happening both to individuals and also what's going to be happening with the resource. We know that
so you have 5 specific demands, and this is on both Sunak and Truss.
Yeah.
You want to axe the fuels, usually currently at 52%, axe VAT on domestic gas and electricity bills, currently 5%, axe VAT on fuel, currently 20%, axe government, environmental and social schemes tax on domestic gas and electricity supply, currently 15%, and a price cap of £1,300 for direct debit and prepayment customers. Is that right?
That's right. And we're also getting all of our signatories in each constituency to write to their MPs, to write to the government, to have their voices heard, to let them know they'll be voting on the basis if this support goes through on axe the tax. And we're also going to be doing more around the NHS as well as we approach the nomination and the PM's question time at the start of September. It's really crucial we continue to have our voices heard. The public has been sidelined too often, and we're not going to pay twice. We need to axe the tax and make that happen together.
Is it frustrating, Alan, for you when the media, on the whole, doesn't even reference lockdowns in regards to this cost of living crisis? It's as if the lockdowns had nothing to do with it if you watch the BBC.
It's astonishing to think that anyone could think in a society where value is created through productive activity, that when you shut a society, when you limit it and suffocate it, and then sort of have enormous amounts of printing of money, which, as it happens, didn't just happen then, but was really en masse, quantitative easing, that to think somehow that doesn't have a consequence, and then to pretend as though we all have a short-term memory loss, that it's all to do with something that's happened after. We all know, as it happens, though, that heating or eating was a question way before anything happened in Ukraine, which has exacerbated issues. And I really think that whilst people now in the BBC and The Guardian and others are talking about this upcoming real crisis, and some people have launched something called Enough is Enough, interesting where they got that name from. I think it's good that people want to challenge it, but we should remember many of them were championing lockdowns and restrictions. They were cheerleaders.
Yes, they were, and they wanted them harder, and we can't forget that. No, very good point. That was the Together Association's co-founder, Alan Miller. Alan, thank you so much, but it's time now